I just realized something.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the picture on A Tale of Two Sands on Hulu?
Yeah.
That wasn't in the episode, was it?
They couldn't show like anything in this episode, or else it was a spoiler. I was so afraid that the thumbnail for this episode was going to be a spoiler that like I didn't even want you to look at it.
Well, just like the thumbnail for Now What He Seems is just Mabel and Dipper looking at something.
Yeah.
But then for The Tale of Two Sands, it's Dipper, Mabel, and Dipper's holding something up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that wasn't in the episode.
No. So they had to be careful with this. So like
I'm surprised because like sometimes like Hulu, I guess like some streaming stuff they kind of don't give a crap.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like, oh whatever, thumbnail.
Right.
Must have like paid good money for that, or like told like Hulu something. Oh, that reminds me of another thing that happened with Doctor Who, but we don't have to do that right now.
So this is funny. I was also like really nervous for you to see the title of this episode because I'm like, I hope you don't think anything from this.
I thought just like there was gonna be a Stan clone.
Like a clone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
All right, and we're back to talk about Gravity Falls Season 2, Episode 12, A Tale of Two Stands.
What is happening?
A lot. So much is happening right now. It's so much is occurring. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're coming off last episode,
yes,
where we have one of the biggest reveals of the series, which is who the author of the journal is, and we realize it is Stan's twin brother.
Yes. And he kind of sounds like Tenzin.
This was an insanely risky move, restarting the portal. Didn't you read my
Is that also
warnings?
Alex Hurd?
J.K. Simmons.
How's about maybe a thanks for saving you from what?
He sounds like Tenzin from Legend of Korra.
Weird.
Strange. Also, J. Jonah Jameson. Also, that guy from that other movie. Also, he sounds like Oscar Academy Award winner, J.K. Simmons. So, I love J.K. Simmons.
I do too.
He's so good.
Although the weird thing, I think the first thing I ever saw him in was he was the dad in Juno.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good movie.
Good times. Good times.
He's such a cool dude.
So what did you think of this episode, Dara, before I start?
This kind of felt a bit more emotional than the last one.
Right.
But like...
Last one was very like kind of drama, but like in an action-y way. This is very like drama in a just an emotional way.
But like so much was happening.
Yeah. We learn a lot of information.
And I already know this because I think I'm editing this one. I already know the thumbnail is me going like, what?
Oh, so good. So let's start off with a synopsis here. So we kind of open the episode. We actually don't open back where we ended the last time. We start with like kind of a flashback. We see these two small boys. They're running around in an abandoned cave. I like the part where Stan is like, you have brains, I have that other thing, punching,
Boom.
It might be filled with lost prehistoric life forms or Mesoamerican gold. Ladies first.
Aww. Because twins were in the family and I'm assuming they're twinsies.
Good thing you've
You're
got your
twins.
smarts, Poindexter. I've got the other thing. What is it called? Oh, right. Punching. Cool. Splinter. Whoa.
They punch their way inside of this little cave, and then they write their name on the wall to show that they were there. So we see it says Stanley and Stanford Pines.
You know, I'm mad at myself right now. Because I didn't pick up on it with that.
Yeah.
But I should have.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
What?
Like their names.
Oh yeah.
I didn't pick up on it then.
No, you didn't. It took you a second for
I just wasn't thinking.
It took until they actually said it. Well, you didn't notice the Stanley Mobile part, or else you would have gotten it.
I don't pay attention to license plates.
When we come back, we see that Stan is very happy to see his brother. I mean, it's been like 30 long years, so he wants to see him. So he gives him a hug, and the author responds by punching him.
To be fair.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of realize why later. There's a few reasons to punch Stan. But Stan is kind of hoping to be thanked for bringing his brother back.
To be also fair.
And his brother is like, hell no, I'm not thanking you, because it was a huge risk to reactivate that portal. Mm-hmm. So Mabel is like, what the heck is going on here? Which is like fair. And so Stan introduces the kids as the grandchildren of their other brother.
What was his name?
Shermie.
people here. Quick question. What the heck is going on here?
Thank you.
Good question.
Stan, you didn't tell me there were children down here. And some sort of large, hairless gopher?
I get that a lot. They're your family, Poindexter. Shermie's grandkids.
I have a niece and nephew? Greetings. Do kids still say greetings? I haven't been in this dimension for a really long time.
Why all S's?
Why not? Mine's up. Yeah, he's like, whoa, I have nieces and nephews. That's cool.
You're their other grunkle.
Yeah. Their other grunkle, yeah. And then, so this is kind of where we realize, we learn that Stan his name isn't Stanford. Yeah. His name is Stan Lee.
Well, it looks like we're stuck down here for a while. Who wants to tell us their entire mysterious backstory?
Yes, I have some questions about all this myself, Stanley.
Stanley?
What? Oh my God!
My name is Stanford.
Wait, you took my name? What have you been doing all these years, you knucklehead?
Yeah, Uncle Stan.
I think I just got a good thumbnail for this.
Some answers.
And then
the other one's
this brother who just arrived.
He's the actual Stanford
He's
Pines.
the real Stanford Pines. And he prefers to go by Ford. So they want to kind of know the story about why, I mean, they're kind of being kind of frosty to each other. Like, why did one steal the other's name? Like, why did this one disappear? So we got to find out.
Why did he write the journals?
Yeah, exactly. So we got to look back and figure out what this whole story is
about.
about.
What is happening?
What the heck is going on here? So the twins were born in the town of Glass Shard Beach, New Jersey, during the 1960s. Where he's like, it was 1960. Were they born in the 60s?
They must have not have been. I'd say probably like the 50s.
Born like the 50s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, excuse me, you have to fix your article. So it's like 1950s-ish.
A lifetime ago, 1960-something, Glassshard Beach, New Jersey. I lived with my ma and pa in the lead paint district of the family pawn shop. Dad was a strict man, tough as a cinder block and not easily impressed.
I'm not impressed.
Mom was a pathological liar, which served her well as a phone psychic.
That'll be 99 cents an hour. No, you're overpriced. Yeah, I predicted you were gonna hang up.
Well, they were kids, so it's like this probably takes place in the like 60s and like a little bit in the 7s. No, because
math gets kind of weird on here.
Okay, so how old were they in the 80s? Like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like late.
This could probably
50s.
be early. You could probably say early 60s.
Early 60s, yeah, late 50s, early 60s
okay.
when they were born. I have a math problem that I've had issues with for years now, so we're going to discuss that at the end of the episode, and it's totally irrelevant. But anyway, besides that, so they're Jersey folk. They're from
and everybody is sounding all like they from Jersey or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't know if this really sounds like Jersey or Brooklyn or whatever the hell.
It depends. It depends where in Jersey.
I can't really do neithers.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I still love you. So they kind of come from an interesting family. Their parents own a pawn shop, and they have a father who's not easily impressed, and a mother who is a pathological liar.
That's fair.
And also doubles as a phone psychic, which is like the same thing.
That's also fair.
But so it's amazing these boys turned out half decent. Half decent.
It seems like Shermie? He seems fine.
He probably turned out fine.
He clearly got married, had a kid,
yeah,
raised that kid well enough to get married, and then have kids who are stable people.
Right.
Well, they're 12. It's fine.
They're 12. It's fine. But these two siblings, they love each other. So these twins,
they're as close as
one is incredibly smart and gifted. The other has personality.
He also had a rare birth defect, 6 fingers on each hand, which might have explained his obsession with sci-fi mystery weirdness. As for me, I had what Mom liked to call personality.
You do have a lot of personality.
As different as we were the perfect team.
And
can punch.
And he can punch. So, and Ford, he was also born with 6 fingers on each hand.
Yes. Which doesn't actually mean anything. He just has 6 fingers.
He just has.
What do you call the 6th finger?
Polydactyl, I think.
Is that what the finger's called? Like thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky?
Yeah, I don't actually know what it's, it's just polydactyly.
Okay.
Is the name of the condition.
It's like rare, right? Or is it like...
Do I have a... No, I don't have a statistic
That's
readily
fine.
available to me.
Okay.
But, so yeah, so one is very smart, has 6 fingers. The other can hit things.
Yeah.
Yay! But even though they're complete opposites, they get along really well. And they kind of explore the beach. And one day they come across a cave that has a broken ship in it. And, you know, they kind of fantasize about having a ship and then going around the world with it.
A shipwrecked sailboat, possibly haunted by pirate ghosts. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And I once saw a dead rat floating in a bucket.
They sound Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. You know what this thing's missing? Flags. Kings of New Jersey! Kings of New Jersey!
Oh no, honey, you gotta wear sunscreen.
It's so cute. That was the 60s.
I dub thee the Stana War.
So they kind of rescue this ship and they name it the Stana War. And, you know, one day they want to go off in search of hidden treasure.
Yay! But then life happens. So as they grow older, Ford continues to be the intelligent one. He does great in school. He's very studious. And Stanley is just, he's a total troublemaker. He hasn't made much of himself. Yeah.
So, you know.
Now, Mr. Pines, I'd like to speak with you very frankly, if I may.
Very frankly is the only way I speak.
You have 2 sons. One of them is incredibly gifted. The other one is standing outside this room and his name's Stanley.
What are you saying?
I'm saying your son Stanford is a genius. All his teachers are going bananas over his science fair experiment. You ever heard of West Coast Tech? Best college in the country.
But yeah, so yeah, Ford wins a lot of awards. Stan gets in a lot of trouble. So kind of one day they call them both to the office and they
Which is weird because they only wanted to talk to one of them.
Yeah, they probably just want to keep the one out of trouble. It's like, you stay here, pay attention to you. And the parents are there and they say that Ford has an opportunity to go to his kind of dream college, which is called West Coast Tech, which is basically like it's a
Tech school or like a science school.
Yeah, it's a cool science school, and they have people coming to see his science project, and if they like it, he's basically in. So, and they say that this is a great opportunity, and he's going to make a lot of money, and his parents are like, hell yeah, love it. And even their father, who is not easily impressed, is very impressed with all the work that Stanford has done. Mm-hmm. But Stanley... They say that, you know, he's never going to make anything of himself. He will probably barely make it out of high school. Mm-hmm. And you should be happy that you'll have at least one son who lives in New Jersey forever. And, you know, Stan doesn't take too kindly to that. He's kind of upset and, you know, he still wants to, he tries to kind of get Ford to, you know, want to just, you know, ditch those plans and do that thing they said they were going to do when they were kids, which is get on a boat and, you know, sail the world. Mm-hmm. But, you know, Ford really wants to, he's really dedicated to studies. He wants to go to his dream school.
Joke's on them if they think you want to go to some stuffy college on the other side of the country.
He does,
Once we get the Stana War complete, it's gonna be beaches, babes, and international treasure hunting for us.
Look, Stan, I can't pass up a chance like this. This school has cutting-edge programs in multidimensional paradigm theory.
Beep boop, I am a nerd robot. That's you. That's what you sound like.
Oh, well, if the college board isn't impressed with my experiment tomorrow, then okay, I'll do the treasure hunting thing.
And, you know, he's really looking forward to that. So Stan is kind of roughhousing kind of that night and ends up accidentally messing up Ford's science project.
Was it just like a motor thing?
Yeah, I think the motor like shorts out or something. It's like a perpetual motion device. And but he ends up breaking it. And so then...
Which he didn't technically do on purpose?
He was kind of messing around, and he didn't mean to. Like, as angry as he was that his brother was leaving, he didn't want to. But he just kind of... Stan kind of has a history of, even though he doesn't try to do bad things, ends up doing bad things. So that's kind of like his whole life story.
I couldn't make it out there without him. And now, thanks to that dumb college, I was gonna lose my brother forever.
Oh no!
This is all your fault, you dumb machine!
Oh
Oh no! Oh no, no! What did I do? There, alright. Good as new. Probably.
no! No! Oh no!
All right, kid. Show us what you got.
Oh no!
Okay.
Is that he just kind of ends up getting himself in trouble with a lot of stuff, which is kind of sad, actually.
Yes,
it's really
so
sad. So the next day, when the college folks come around, the machine isn't working, so they kind of deny him access to the school. Ford is really broken up about it, and it forces him to go to his backup s'more university.
That didn't make any sense though. Like he clearly has like good grades and like that. He could have gotten to another good school.
Right? It's such a weird, yeah.
He could have gotten into Stanford.
I know. Yeah, I think West Coast Tech is supposed to be Stanford, but they couldn't call it Stanford because there's already a character
He
named
could have
Stanford.
gone to Harvard or
Yeah.
Princeton. He could have literally
Could have gone to MIT.
like literally from what they say, he could have gone anywhere he wanted.
That's the only part when I first watched this where I was like, this feels a little really cartoony. Like the show is good with not being like overly like kiddish, but that was like a weird kiddish thing where I was like, oh, okay, it's weird. Anyway, but like it's for the sake of the narrative.
Okay.
But there once, at the scene there is kind of the snacks that Stan usually has, so Ford is able to guess that it was him, and he says that Stan ruined his chances of getting to his dream school.
Which like that makes I'm like that's my thing. Like he could have still gone to a good school, but still been pissed that he didn't get into his dream school.
Yeah. That this causes a real rift between the two brothers because Ford really isn't able to forgive Stan, and once his parents find out, they kick Stan out of the house, basically tell him don't come back until you start earning some money.
No, wait! Don't go! I
Oh
worked so hard!
no!
One paddle, paddle, paddle. Two paddle, paddle. Man, that Jackie O, what a fuss. Hey, what's the word, Sixer?
Can you explain what this was doing next to my broken project?
Okay. I might have accidentally been horsing around.
This was no accident, Stan. You did this. You did this because you couldn't handle me going to college on my own.
Look, it was a mistake.
So that really inspires Stan to kind of like have this, we kind of see the beginnings of his desire to make money. Because that's, in a previous episodes, it just seems like Stan will do anything get rich quick.
He was like Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, and so now we kind of see that there's a reason for that, and it's because, he's really just wants to be able to get accepted back home, which is like, oh, yeah. So Stan leaves. He is disowned by his family, and he goes on to try to make something of himself. Doesn't really do a good job of it.
You sick of this always happening to you? Then you need the chamois of the future. Made with the same material astronauts use to clean up cranberry stains on the moon. That's the sham total. It's a total sham. I had made my mark all right. Unfortunately, so did the chamois. Apparently, the cheap dye I used to color them only made stains worse. Customers weren't crazy about that. Luckily, they were chasing me with Stanco brand pitchforks.
He gets kicked out of Joyzy.
He keeps he has these kind of schemes, these get rich quick schemes that end up being, they're all scams.
What was like the scam wow?
The sham total, which is like a sham wow, except it's a total sham. And that's how he ends up getting kicked out of Jersey. And he tries another thing, gets him kicked out of Pennsylvania. So Stan gets kicked out of a lot of different states. He
get kicked out of other countries too, right?
He went to prison in 3 different countries. One of them we have seen in Dreamscapers. We had a brief flashback in Colombia. He spent time in a Colombian prison. So this is where, as he's changing states, he's changing his name, so people can't find out that he's a big scammer.
Yeah.
What you need is the ripoff. The ripoff won't give you rashes. I repeat, it won't give you rashes. It gave you rashes.
Bye.
I traveled the whole country, sometimes outside of it, always one step ahead of the law, looking for something that would be my big break.
Whoa, so that explains all the fake IDs.
So he's making a reputation for himself and not a good one.
Yes.
But he does it because he's trying to get rich. He's trying to make something of himself, but doesn't go about it in the right way. And to be fair, I mean, his parents owned a pawn shop and his mom was a pathological liar.
That's
so
fair.
like, he wasn't really on the path to greatness to begin with. It's amazing that Ford ended up where he did.
Meanwhile,
All right, I know backups more wasn't anyone's first choice, but what we lack in prestige, we make up for in mostly bug-free dorms. I'm sure your families are proud, more or less.
At a place like that, I had to work twice as hard. Luckily, that's what I do best. I went from undergrad to PhD 3 years ahead of schedule, wrote a thesis that was nationally ranked, and was awarded an enormous grant for my own scientific research.
So that's funny. Literally the next line of this paragraph is meanwhile. So Ford, he gets accepted into Backup S'more University, which is a backup college. We kind of talked a little bit about that.
doesn't make sense, but whatever.
It doesn't. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm like, oh, it's a little silly and not in like a fun way. But it's okay. He, even though he's not at his first choice, he still studies super hard. He finishes his PhD 3 years ahead of time.
So technically, he's a Dr. Stanford Pines.
Right, he's Dr. Pines. But he throws himself into his research, and despite the fact that he didn't get into his dream school, he still gets grants. He still does this, and what he wants to do is he wants to study anomalies, because he is an anomaly, because he has 6 fingers.
I just got this weird. Sorry, I just got a weird allegory in my head.
Oh, share with the class.
Is this technically like some kind of like the Book of Genesis allegory?
Huh.
Think about it.
You have to explain that to me. I know the Book of Genesis, but
Like the beginning.
yeah. Okay, well,
I don't know if
who's
I can.
who in this scenario?
I don't think I can explain it till the end, but
Okay, well, hold that thought.
okay.
Because I want to hear this.
Okay.
Because I haven't put it together in my head yet.
It's not like great, but it's like there.
I'm curious. So, but before we see it earlier, he's really interested in like things that are abnormal. He really likes sci-fi. He likes interesting stuff because and everybody kind of guesses because he kind of sees himself in it because he grew up being made fun of because he was kind of like a 6-fingered freak.
Yeah.
And he finds some kind of solidarity in that, and he wants to go on and study that.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of research and tries to find where most of the weird anomalies happen, and they all are centered around this small lumber town in Roadkill County, Oregon, called Gravity Falls.
What to study? My whole life I'd been teased for my 6 fingers, but that got me thinking about anomalies. Things that were odd, unusual, statistically improbable. And according to my investigations,
Okay, then.
there was one place with a higher concentration of these things than anywhere else. A small lumber town in Roadkill County, Oregon. Gravity Falls.
So he packs up and moves there in the mid-70s.
Yep.
So he moves there. He builds a house and he recruits. He spends his time recording all his research, writing them in journals. So
I knew I'd have to record my findings. I began to keep a journal.
Same.
Just got excited.
Is that what you did?
About the journals. Keep talking.
I began to keep a journal. Just going to ignore that.
And Differ, to the point where Differ like freaks out. He's like, ah!
He has a girl. That was great.
The
second the journals are mentioned,
he just squeals. But like, fair though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny 'cause Dipper really didn't do much in this episode. I mean, neither of them did, but like.
Yeah, this was a story about Stan and Ford.
Again, if somebody can find a clip of Jason Ritter recording that, I want it.
So Stanford, like upon doing all of his research, I mean, he writes like almost 3 whole journals of all of this stuff. Believes that all these anomalies are coming from an alternate dimension, another dimension that is kind of feeding its weirdness into Gravity Falls. So he wants to build a portal to be able to see into these and eventually go into these different dimensions. So to get there, he recruits the help of a very bright college friend
named William Franklin Cypher.
No, not William. No, not
I know.
William Franklin.
I
But
know.
Fiddleford H. McGucket, who is who is really funny because he's He said he's working in a failing business in personal computers in Palo Alto, which is that's how Apple got started. So he could have been Steve Jobs, but instead he went insane.
I mean, wasn't Steve Jobs kind of crazy?
He was eccentric, so debatable. So
Debatable. But I was gonna say he was a Steve Wozniak to Steve Jobs.
He recruits McGucket, young guy, to help him with all this portal nonsense. He says like, yeah, sure. So they begin to work together. But when they first kind of open this portal, something goes wrong, and McGucket gets sucked in for a moment before getting sucked back out. And he comes back and he is like wide-eyed and something is terribly wrong.
And he goes like,
he starts talking backwards. He speaks in backwards, which I will look at the notes on that later. And then he gives this warning that says, when gravity falls and Earth becomes sky, fear the beast with just one eye.
What is it? Is it working? What did you see? Fiddleford?
When gravity falls and Earth becomes sky, fear the beast with just one eye.
Fiddleford, get a hold of yourself. You're not making any sense.
This machine is dangerous. You'll bring about the end of the world with this. Destroy it before it destroys us all.
Wait a minute. What is happening?
That's a good question.
Not going to find out till the end, aren't I?
Absolutely. This is if you're
you're
like,
when gravity falls and Earth becomes sky.
Yeah.
Like, so they does it flip?
We'll find out. So because you asked me like, what are we going to focus the last half of the series on? Here's an idea for you.
But it means more build safer.
Yes. Exactly, which is fun. McGucket, he has seen too much, and he says that this is too dangerous. You're dealing with matters that you have no control over. You need to stop this immediately. But Ford says, this is all my life's work. No way, I'm stopping now. And McGucket quits the project. He says, I would rather... he decides he would like to forget what he had seen. And then
But he realizes that's not the right thing to do and doesn't forget anything and lives a life creating computers.
Yes. No, he creates a Society of the Blind Eye and goes mad.
I'm old man McGucket.
Act 2. McGucket. McGucket
didn't deserve this.
McGucket did not deserve this. That totally reminds me of something I forgot to mention last episode. So we'll cover that at the end.
Okay.
Ford keeps working on this project. He starts to kind of go a little mad himself. He's not going crazy per se, but he's definitely kind of a little too involved in this. And he starts, the more he goes, the more he knows, he gets more paranoid and, just a little sketchy. So he needs, he decides that he has to, he can't trust anyone, but he tries to find the person he trusts the most. And so he finally sends word to Stan, who is holed up in a motel somewhere, trying to run away from people he owes money to.
Yeah.
Just give me a few more days, Rico. I'll pay your goons back, I swear.
Wow, that doesn't look real at all. Or fake at all. Whatever. It didn't look good.
But Stan is happy to hear from his brother. He hasn't heard from his brother.
Gets a really obvious looking postcard.
Yeah.
That postcard looked really bad.
It's okay.
Literally just like a screenshot
from the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. But Stan isn't doing well. He has been kicked out of so many states at this point. He's really letting himself go. He is not in a good place in life. So he's pretty happy to hear from his brother and go visit him in Gravity Falls. But Ford really just wants him there to say, like, hey, I've been working on this stuff. I've written everything down in this journal. I need you to... I've already hidden the other 2 journals. So Ford is the one who hid the journals.
Yes.
So that's kind of the reveal we get here.
I still have a question. I have a question about this.
Yeah, sure.
How did the Gleeples get the second journal?
That's a good question.
Do we find out?
I don't know. I forget.
I mean, I could assume one of them found it like one day.
I think that's what happened.
Okay.
So, he wants to... So Ford wants to be able so nobody can use the portal. So that's why he wants to split this information. He split the information about the portal into 3 journals, and he wants Stan to... He's like, here, take this. You know how we said we wanted to go on that boat? And, Stan's like really excited because he's thinking maybe after all these years, it's been 10 years, 10 whole years, and maybe his brother wants to finally spend time with him. But Ford basically says, take this, go as far away as you can. Bye.
Look, I've been around the world, okay? Whatever it is, I'll understand. There is nothing about this I understand.
It's a trans-universal gateway, a punched hole through a weak spot in our dimension. I created it to unlock the mysteries of the universe, but it could just as easily be harnessed for terrible destruction. That's why I shut it down and hid my journals, which explain how to operate it. Oh. There's only one journal left, and you are the only person I can trust to take it.
So where's he gonna go? Like, what is his plan?
I think he's just going to stay in Gravity Falls, I guess, and take care of what's there.
So make sure nobody gets it?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just destroy it? Destroy it then?
I think he seems like he's too prideful of his work to destroy it, because Stan takes a lighter to it and wants to light it on fire to get rid of it. He's like, if you want it bad, like gone so bad, just destroy it. But that's Stanford's life's work. Yeah. So he can't bring himself to necessarily destroy it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Stan is pissed that his brother called him back after all these years just to give him something and send him on his way. So, one thing leads to another, and they start fighting. Mm-hmm. Because Stan wants to destroy the journal, and Ford is like, oh, hell no. So they fight, and one of the, in that fight, Stan gets knocked up against the portal, the console for the portal, where we see that kind of sigil on it, and he gets burned by the sigil, and that is his tattoo.
Oh no!
Stanley, give it back! I want it back. You're gonna have to try harder than that. You left me behind, you jerk! It was supposed to be us forever! You ruined my life!
You ruined your own life! Stanley! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you...
Holy shit! Wait, that but he covered it up with a... Okay, I gotcha. So is it a burn or is it a tattoo?
It's a burn.
Well, why does it kind of... I guess, it looked like a tattoo thing, though.
I think it's just the way it heals. It's hard to show that with kind of that...
I guess I kind of seen he might have tattooed over it. And that's why he had a big tattoo on his back. And he kind of just, he covered it up with a tattoo.
Yeah, but, it's that same spot, same size and everything.
But we only see the one spot, so I assumed it was his whole back.
No, it's just that. It's just there. So when Stan says and we see, that one Gibbers died to the unexplained thing that he says he doesn't have a tattoo, he's not wrong, because it's not really a tattoo.
It's fair.
It's
a burn.
Yeah, it's basically a brand. So that's how we kind of uncover that mystery. Like, that one thing that we didn't really realize that we didn't know was that where that came from. So Ford seems to, he tries to apologize, but Stan gets mad, and, in their fight, the portal turns on, and Ford gets sucked into the portal.
You care more about your dumb mysteries than your family?
Wasn't it all over his back?
Then you can have them.
Or am I wrong about that?
No, that's butt.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Stanford!
Stanley, help me!
Oh no, what do I do?
Stanley, do something!
Stanford?
Oh no!
Stanford, come back! I didn't mean it!
And sent off to another dimension. So
Stan is Cain, and then they fight. He fights his brother Abel, and then he kind of dies, and then they have a normal brother Seth.
Oh.
I'm saying it wasn't great. I'm saying I thought about it.
I get it.
It's like 25% works.
I understand.
Cool.
It makes sense.
Yay.
So Stan is he didn't mean to do that. Like, as much as angry as he was with his brother, he didn't mean for that to happen, and he tries his hardest to reopen the portal, to find a way to get his brother out, but he can't.
No.
Because it takes a lot. He only has one of the journals, So he can't actually see the whole map of how things are supposed to look. He doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the material. So now he's stuck in Gravity Falls with, he wants to find his brother, but he doesn't have the means to.
Yeah.
So he decides to he stays at the shack because he really doesn't have anywhere else to go. He goes into town and he tries to buy something, but he has no money. And people around town assume that he is the guy who has been living in the shack for, all of these years. And they say, they think it's interesting and they want kind of a tour of it. And Stan realizes that he can use this to make money. As much as he wants his brother back, he needs to find a way to pay the mortgage. He needs to find a way to get by. So he transforms the weird, thing in the shack to the mystery shack.
Hey, that's no stranger. That must be the mysterious science guy that lives in the woods.
No, you got the wrong guy.
Huh?
I've heard strange stories about that old shack.
Yeah, mysterious lights and spooky experiments.
Gosh, I'd pay anything to see what kind of shenanigans you get up to in there.
Oh, me too. Do you ever give tours?
No, really,
Do it.
Yep. First, he gets people to come in, and it's just weird science stuff all around. But he realizes if he can make things over the top and silly, people like that way more than they like any of the real stuff.
That's true.
Which is what we also kind of discovered that in the episode Boss Mabel.
Yeah.
Remember that. So this is, that same revelation is what Stan had when he first kind of opened up the shack to the public. So and in that we see a lot of younger residents of Gravity Falls from like 30 years ago. We see Lazy Susan before she was Lazy Susan and after she was Lazy Susan.
Behold, the nerdy science box.
My eye!
I can assure you that is in no way permanent.
Oh.
I paid $15 for this?
We see a really tiny Tyler, cute biker. He's on like a little bicycle.
Yeah.
So cute. We see the guy who has all of the tattoos without pre-tattoos. There's the free pizza guy who's like a little kid. It's great. So it's fun to see in the flashbacks. I love seeing the young Gravity Falls residents. So, but yeah. So and that's kind of that's how Stan becomes Stan.
Yeah.
He kind of transforms the shack into, first he calls it the murder hut, then calls it the mystery shack, and he adopts they ask him his name, and he adopts Stanford. He decides that Stanley is dead. He fakes his own death. He gets rid of that identity because there's too much bad stuff associated with it, and he becomes Stanford. So which means that his family doesn't know that Ford got lost in a portal. They think that Stanley is dead, and they think.
I thought they wouldn't have read because that was with paper in Oregon. So how would they?
Well, no, but I mean, they still have family. He still has family. I mean, he still has his other brother.
So his family never went to his brother never went to visit.
Well, I think if it's been so many years, you might not be able to tell.
Also,
apart.
they established the Shermie.
Yeah.
Was like a baby when Stan left.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, the family was still enough in touch where they sent the kids to them for the summer. So I feel like they don't know the whole story. They wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, Grandpa Stanford. But he's not actually Stanford.
Yeah, but that makes sense because since the little brother was a baby, he probably didn't remember Stanley at all.
Right, because they both had left before, so he wouldn't have recognized them.
But Stanford never went and Ford never went and visited his family again.
He was super wrapped up in his work.
That's fair. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
But
so that wouldn't make sense. The other brother probably didn't actually remember because they're very distinctive voices as well. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't tell the voices.
Right, and so because they were away from their family enough where it was probably hard to notice.
Okay.
Which is interesting. But yeah, and so that's how Mystery Shack becomes Mystery Shack. That's how Stan Lee became Stanford, and that's how the family got situated in Gravity Falls. So now that the whole story has come to light, Dipper apologizes to Stan, for not believing him, and Stan says it's okay. He wouldn't expect him to believe him either. Mm-hmm. But there's still government agents there, so they have to find a way to get rid of them. Dipper actually still in his backpack still has the
memory thing,
the memory eraser, from the Blind Eye Society.
Mm-hmm.
So and Ford is familiar with this, so obviously he kind of saw the beginnings of the society and didn't go hey buddy, that's a bad idea.
He was
Hey, my good friend Fiddleford, maybe that was a shitty idea.
He was busy.
Yeah, he was busy and doesn't seem to have, like, regard for other people.
So, in conclusion, Stanley Pines and Stanford Pines are both kind of dicks.
They're definitely both dicks in their own way. Whew. So, but they are able to use that. Ford amplifies the signal of the memory eraser to erase all of the like the government agents' memories, and basically make them think, just kind of forget why they're there.
If I can just amplify the signal to a radio headset frequency.
I mean, he was still around when
there.
Now
everyone, plug your ears. Get down now,
sir. Looks like there's a hidden door behind the vending machine.
Excellent.
Oh, there
Jamie
isn't.
Washington on line 1. I've been practicing making sounds of excitement for this very occasion. Hey, do you hear that?
And kind of about the mystery of Gravity Falls, and he poses as one of their superiors to tell them, like, hey, this case isn't what you think it is. It's nothing. I'm going to take care of this. Just give all your information you have on it to me, so he can get rid of it and then kind of take the the suspicion off them for forever.
Yeah.
So, but the twins obviously still have a lot of questions, especially Dipper, for Ford, but Stan kind of whisked them away, saying that, whatever. And so then we see, I really like this moment where Stan and Ford are standing in the mirror and you see them side by side. And it's, for the first time in 30 years that they've seen each other, and they're talking. And so Ford says that he'll let Stan stay in the house as long as the kids are there. But as soon as the summer is over, he's taking back his shack, and he wants Stan to get out of there.
Okay, Stanley, here's the deal. You can stay here for the summer to watch the kids. I'll stay down in the basement and try to contain any remaining damage. But when the summer's over, you give me my house back, you give me my name back, and this Mystery Shack junk is over forever. You got it?
You really aren't gonna thank me, are you? Fine, on one condition. You stay away from the kids. I don't want them in danger.
But what about Seuss?
What about Seuss? Seuss just like lets himself go. He's like, I'm just gonna excuse myself.
But he does call Wendy.
He does call Wendy and talks to her for like 14 hours.
Okay. So it turns out that the second Stan, the Stan that we know, was actually Stanley, but the first Stan was Stanford, but we didn't know until that Stanford came out of the portal, which was...
But, and Mabel, kind of sees this, and she is concerned, and that maybe one day Dipper and her might not be as close as they are now, and it might suffer some kind of fallout that Stan and Ford did. So Dipper says that won't happen, but you can tell she is still really nervous about it.
Dipper, you don't think we'll turn out like Stan and Ford, do you?
What do you mean?
I mean, they used to be best friends, but then they got all stupid. Can you promise me you won't get stupid?
Not stupider than you, dum-dum.
Good night, stupid.
Good night, stupid.
Aww. Oh, Mabel.
Oh, Mabel's so...
And then the post-credits is Seuss talking to Wendy at 3 a.m.
I'll say this to Mabel. You're getting into your teenage years, so you probably will hate each other for a bit. But y'all aren't as much different as the Stanley and Stanford were. So I think you'll be okay. In the end. In the end, you'll be okay.
It's going to be okay, we promise. So that was that episode. What do you think, Dara?
What is happening?
What? So now we've gone through all of that.
Is there going to be an episode where Ford and Dipper kind of bond? I feel like they would bond.
They would definitely bond.
Because Dipper still has all of his questions.
Yep.
And he will get them answered.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that episode was a lot. It was a lot of heart. It kind of hurts just to see like these two siblings who were so close drift apart, and then and Ford is definitely like, it's when he's younger, he's not as cold as he is when he's an adult. But when he comes back, he seems like he doesn't really. Not that he doesn't care about other people, but he has lots to do before. He needs to open himself up.
To be fair, he's kind of a dick.
He's a little bit of a dick.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wonder because, like, obviously, like he didn't know, like he had a great grandniece and nephew.
Yeah.
Or like they're even like a nephew or anything, or like anything like that. So I'm kind of wondering, like, is like, because I feel like Dipper's gonna want to like basically follow him around like a puppy,
right?
So I feel wonder if it's gonna be a thing of like he's gonna bond with like I think like that's gonna be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Of like they're gonna bond and he's gonna like maybe realize like maybe I should have had a life besides everything.
Right. All right. Oh, can I bring up my math thing here?
Sure.
This has been bothering me since this episode first premiered. So it's been years. Here's the thing. So Stan and Ford, twins, born late 50s, early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1982, they said it's been about 10 years since they've seen each other, and we can assume that meant
1972.
So we can assume that meant that, and that was when Stan was kicked out of the house. So, and that was the end of high school. So that would leave them about 17 years old at that point, which puts them about, we're like 18. So let's put them about 28, 30 years ago, which makes them 58 now. Shermie, their brother, was like a baby when they were 18. So he's probably, like 17 years younger? So let's do the math on this. So that means in 2012, Shermie would be how old? So you get like 58 minus 17. 41.
That doesn't work.
41. No. So it would be, 41? But he's Dipper Mabel's grandfather. So which means, hold on. 12 minus 12. So which means he was 29 when they were born.
Listen.
Which means he was 29 when they were born?
There's probably a lot of teenage pregnancies.
Okay, so like that's very believable to me though, because like given just like their background, how they were raised, they probably.
I thought you were saying like how did like the mom have like a baby and it, like 2 pregnancies with them? Like,
that's.
I mean, you could argue like they had the twins when they were younger and then had the other baby.
That part I'm not worried about. The part is that Dipper and Mabel's grandfather was like 30 when they were born.
Okay, so now I mean, he probably would have had to have. They're related to the father, right?
Yeah.
So he would have had to have his dad when he was like 15.
Yeah.
And then his son would have had to have Dipper Mabel when he was 15.
Yeah.
And
okay,
it could have happened.
Yeah, well, it could have. But it's weird math.
Yeah.
Do you understand why this has been bothering me for years?
Yeah.
I want people to comment on this because, like, I am genuinely like, am I missing something here? Like, that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how I laid that out makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm missing something because this couldn't add up right. Unless Shermie's actually a lot older and that was, their
Another
dad.
baby?
And that baby was, like, their dad for some reason. So, like.
No, but then the dad would have been really old when he had.
No, he still would have. No, he would have been.
No, because if still would have been 12,
still would have been 30.
No, their dad.
If that baby we saw in there was the baby we saw there was Shermie. Oh yeah, it would have been 29 when they were born.
Yeah.
But if it was maybe their dad, still 29. So
okay.
But I think it's supposed to be the younger brother. But like, guys, can you please explain this to me?
Please explain it to her.
Am I missing something here? I'm gonna go back and read this wiki, make sure I didn't miss anything. But like, math. Hold on, where's the page on Shermie? I gotta make sure. It doesn't say. It's just a mysterious baby. It could have been their grandfather, could have been their father. It's weird.
The only thing
but that doesn't make sense either.
It would have made sense if it was their father, but then they would have had an older brother.
But who we don't see.
And then why were the parents watching? Well, I mean, they could have just
they could have just been babysitting. But like,
but then we never see like an older brother at all.
Yeah, exactly. Do you understand why this is bothering me?
Yeah.
This has been bothering me for years.
If somebody knows Alex Hirsch, please get him in contact with Cailin so like he can explain it or even be like, I'm not good at math. If it's acknowledged that nobody's good at math, that is fine.
It's fine, but like I'm so confused by it. So like anyway, that was my thing that I was a little upset
Either
about.
there's like a fair amount of teenage pregnancy.
which is like could happen.
It could happen,
like, and it happens. That's fine. But like also very rare to hear in like a kid show. So like, what's up? So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to the attention of everybody here.
Well, if they had okay, do the trivia stuff. I'm thinking like if they had a baby, like if his brother was older, he would have had to be. I don't know. He wouldn't have to be like fairly older than the brother, but like he would have probably been like. And it wasn't there. He might have been like significantly older. Mm-hmm. So maybe they were babysitting the dad.
Yeah,
that's something I can think of that maybe like
that would make sense.
And I'd be also like okay with their brother is really not in the story.
Right.
So they don't need to mention him.
And they don't mention it either. Like, because I looked all through, didn't say
like
older or younger.
Maybe the brother, because it's either like the brother's significantly older and like wasn't really involved in their lives because of the age. Like,
yeah.
It seems like that brother was not involved because of the age difference.
Right.
So.
Which is fine, but it's all like, but it's still weird.
And it doesn't come up later at all?
Nope.
Okay,
so I've been weird about this for years. So here's the thing that I forgot to mention, but now that we got through Not What He Seems and A Tale of Two Stands, I think I can. So, and I should have mentioned this in A Society of the Blind Eye. So sorry guys if you commented on that, saying like, Cailin, you should talk about that. Mm-hmm. But so years ago, long before season 2 was even a thing, this screenshot made its way around the internet. And so it looked like a leaked screenshot of McGucket writing the journals. So, and the thing about that was that people were like, oh my god, it's a leaked screenshot from a later episode. Obviously, this means McGucket wrote the journals. Here's the thing. It was a faked screenshot made not by a fan, by Alex Hirsch himself, and then leaked by him to the internet. It was so... goddamn
That's such a good troll.
It's what a good troll. So I just wanted to tangentially touch on that because like if you mentioned it before, like I know guys. So like I got some big ass.
We're running so late.
That's okay. How long have we been going? This isn't bad.
It's 8:30.
Okay, that's okay.
I mean, luckily tomorrow's Sunday, so I can just sleep.
I like here it says Tyler got his catchphrase "get him" from his mother. Like how when he's like "get him." Yeah. Stan has been banned from at least 32 states in the USA. Serious continuity. Blendin was here is written on a board at Glass Shard Beach.
That's my other question. So what does the time traveling have to do with any of this?
It's just not a big thing. Just happens.
Fine.
But if you notice, so I forgot to say this too, in Blendin's game, the episode, you know, when he was invisible and then it was trying to get his thing back, there's a couple different backgrounds in there that he saw. One of them was of that beach. So it's really funny.
So the year 20 schmabbledy 12 has nothing to do with this.
Yes. So let's see. There's a lot of stuff here where it's just like random stuff that's not interesting.
Okay.
Let's see. The episode is 30 minutes long and had no commercial breaks during its debut. For reruns, runtime is 36 minutes, including commercial breaks. I don't think I realized that it was so long. I'm not sure if you noticed in the opening, you know when all the photos are coming on top of each other, like at the very end?
Yeah.
One of the photos has changed. The one that was a pterodactyl is now a picture of Ford with the journal. So I noticed that. I was like, oh, they changed it. One of Stan's failed products was called What a Racket. Alex Hirsch has said that Bobby Renzabi once sold a product with that same name. Bobby Renzabi is the owl trowel guy. Owl trowel. The hole in the boards is shaped like a triangle. Ooh. This episode was viewed by 2.3 million viewers on Disney XD, a new record for the network. When Stan is trying to fix the portal in the flashbacks, he has the books Theoretical Physics Made Stupid and Code Breaking in the lab. Oh, I love this one. You know how they had the picture of their house growing up? Mm-hmm. One of the shops to the left was called Hot Belgian Waffles, which is one of the swears that Stan says. Hot Belgian Waffles. And the one on the other side is called Knuckles Sandwiches. Yeah.
That's a good name for a sandwich shop.
Knuckles Sandwiches. Cryptograms. After young Fiddleford stuck his head through the portal, he says, one of the things he says is Bill Cipher triangle. So, Let's see.
So Bill Cipher's the cause of all the 7 gravity falls happening.
He has a role to play in it. The ending cryptogram is a stubborn, tough New Jersey native. Philbrick wasn't too creative. Having twins was not his plan, so he just shrugged and named both Stan. And Philbrick is the name of their dad, obviously.
Philbrick?
Philbrick.
Philbrick Pines.
Philbrick Pines.
Okay. I was thinking like his last name was Brick.
No,
that doesn't work.
No, Philbrick. Philbrick Pines. I love that one. He just shrugged and named both Stan. So the code, another code at the end is says backup S'more University. You tried. That's their thing. All right. So I think. Oh my goodness. So anything else about this episode?
That was a lot.
Yeah, these 2 episodes are a lot, but you have to watch them both at the same time.
Yeah.
You just have to watch both of them. It's they're great. I love them. Not What He Seems, like I said, I think the way that one is structured, it's really well done. Probably the best animated one of the series, just like artistically. There's a lot of shots that have a lot of meaning to them. And they're just really neat looking. Like, I'm just looking at some of these screenshots and they're awesome. Like, dang. Just a lot of love was put into these 2 episodes, and A Tale of Two Stands as well. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm geeking, man. Like, these are the episodes that I was excited to get to when we first started the series. Like, so this has got them feels going on. So thank you for joining me on this journey.
You're welcome.
And we still have more left, which is extra cool.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, anything else before we move on to a comment corner?
No, we're good.
Oh, man. And I feel like we're going to stop this, and I'm going to think of like 20 million more things to say about this episode.
Fine.
These 2 episodes. I love them, guys. I just love this. I love Gravity Falls.
I'm assuming the comments for these 2 episodes are just going to be like, hooray!
I'm so excited for these comments.
And like seeing my face.
It's certainly a face.
You got what you wanted.
All right. We're going to read the comments on Gall 4.
Okay.
So, Wes Jenkins says, peacocks are extremely effective watchdogs, territorial, vicious, and loud.
I don't like them.
I'm not sure if I've heard a peacock before. I've seen them.
They're creepy, and I don't like them.
I like this one from Zom, who says, the more of these reactions I see, the more I wish I could meet y'all. You guys seem so cool. Aw.
Somebody thinks we're cool.
Oh, wow. Well, there's a first time for everything, I guess. But thank you. So I hope we seem like the kind of people that, people y'all want to hang out
or
with.
Or maybe we know there's a camera in front of us and we're just lying.
But yeah, so
who knows?
Yeah. It's all an act. We actually hate each other.
That's why we do this for free?
You mean we're not getting paid?
Yeah, like why are we still hanging out with each other if we're not getting paid?
I don't know. Dara, we've known each other for like 6 years now. I think it's time we call it quits because we ain't getting paid for this.
We haven't been doing this for 6 years.
No, we've been doing this for like almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Guys, Patreon, let us do this for more years.
I can't believe that we've been doing this for, whew, man. Hazam says, love all the movie references in this video. And also says most voice actors don't come in for scenes. They record at home and send it to the studio. Is that true?
I think that's true. Maybe if it's like one line.
Depends, yeah. And Shorn Force is back. It says, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is fun. They used to have a lot of Easter eggs around the hotel from episodes of the show. Huh.
Oh.
Patton Oswalt is always a joy to hear. True. Next episode is probably my favorite single regular episode of the series. Can't wait. That was a sock opera.
Yeah.
Sock opera is a lot of fun. I really love
fun.
sock opera. Rest in peace, Big Henry.
Big Henry.
Yeah. Also says, hey, I wonder if those guys control the balls.
No.
You gotta sing a song about it. James Wilson says, Big Henry died in vain.
He did.
Poor Big Henry. He didn't deserve it.
I think there's one comment on there that I thought was funny. It was like a comment thread.
Oh, yeah. There's this one from Ivy Inkwell, who was, I'm a little upset you guys edited out this. Sure are a lot of stars tonight, except we didn't. Tom Preston 6 points out someone didn't watch the entire video because we had that
at the end.
At the very end. And they reply, like, I missed the end. I always skip the credits. Don't skip the credits. We have fun stuff in there.
I understand why you skipped the credits. Also, there was a spoiler in that?
Oh, yes. And Ivy Inkwell gave us another poem that I can read now.
Oh, okay.
So thank you for another poem. I love your poems. They're great. This one says, the men in crimson fried his brain to cover the secrets he had obtained. His mind was left all smooth and sodden, while the knowledge lies in the hall of the forgotten.
Oh.
So that's another great Blind Eye reference. Thank you. Great poem. You guys are the best. I love you guys. Not to be weird, but I love you guys. Anyway, so, but yeah, I hope some of you guys can join us when we finish up the series and we have a live stream.
Yeah.
So like, just start thinking about that now.
Join us then. Join us for other shows.
Yeah.
Remember, apparently we're cool.
My mom thinks I'm cool.
So like I said, you come for the Gravity Falls because you like that show, but you stay for my shrill voice and her weird faces.
That should be our tagline. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. So should we? I guess it's time to wrap this up.
Yeah,
we've been going on for a long time.
Yeah,
it's been a long day, guys.
Yeah,
we covered covered a hell of a lot.
Yes, we did.
Whew, and this is the last of we're recording right now. So if you think we're cool, if you think we're swell,
I don't think cool kids say swell.
If you think we're cool, if you think we're swell, you can hang out with us, or you can go to hell. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, and you can see more of me wearing flannel.
You do wear a lot of flannel.
I do wear a lot of flannel. It's a brand.
I wear flannel, but I think you wear it more than me.
I'm like a flannel person. So anyway, that was my little rhyme. I hope you appreciated that, Ivy. But if you like us, if you like our channel, like and comment. We can see we read those comments on the show. We try to read what we can. We don't always read them all at once. So, hang on. Or maybe we forgot you, so sorry. But you can subscribe so you know when we post the next episode. We try to do it consistently, but life happens sometimes, so deal with it.
Yeah.
But you can also, if you want to listen to our reviews, you can take us on the go. You can go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcast and download us. You can leave us a rating or a review, and we would love to see it. You can also follow us on Twitter. We are at Witty Close. Tweet at us, and if we like your tweets, we'll read them on the show. Because that would be swell. You can follow us. We do what we can. We're also on Facebook. We're Witty Close Productions on there. Follow us to get the latest updates of what we're up to. And then, so you can always email us as well. We are wittyclose@gmail.com. And you can send some money our way by visiting us on Patreon. We are Witty Close on there. And I think I covered everything I had to.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So join us next time as we continue. We're not quite in the home stretch yet, but I feel like we are getting there soon. So we're going to be talking about Gravity Falls, Season 2, Episode 13, Dungeons, and More Dungeons, and Episode 14, The Stanturian Candidate.
Oh.
I'm Cailin Clothier.
I'm Dara Whitman.
Peace.
I've been waiting for so long to meet you. I don't know what to say.
Like a
I have
month?
so many questions. I think I'm going to throw up. No. False alarm. Just gotta write it out.
Listen.
But I am a freak. I just wonder if there's anywhere in the world where weirdos like me fit in.
Oregon.
Hey, she knows.